For this next project, we're going to create what is known as a double exposure, and you're going to take two main images and combine them together to create what looks like one image. So here's the main image that we're going to be working with, and then we're going to add some trees and then some birds. Now, once we're done with this particular project, we will have something that looks like this. How cool is that? I love it. Now, I did do a couple different versions of this concept. So here's another version and another one here with some different trees and a mountain in the background here that I shaped to his head. I think this is Yosemite. So you could do something like that, or another set of trees here. And I converted it to black and white because I do like black and white myself. So what I recommend you do once you finish this project is take what you learned and apply this new knowledge to your favorite animal and add whatever elements you want, because it doesn't have to be trees. It could be clouds, or it could be a cityscape if you want to do a juxtaposition of the city and the industry, or something industrial with nature. You could do something like that. And I would love to see your final composition, your final artwork. So if you want to share that, go ahead and place that in the Q&A section for everybody to see. Or if you're part of our private Facebook group, go ahead and post it in there as well. I would love to see it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started by opening up the resource file that is in your Section 6 folder, and it is called Elephant. Now, I placed all these image layers in there for you so we could go ahead and skip that part since you already know how to do that. In fact, everything we're going to do for this particular project, you've already done before in other projects. So although you're not really going to learn any new tools, you're going to learn how to apply them differently than what you have before, which is going to help hopefully inspire you to create your own artwork. So let's go ahead and start off by cropping this canvas here to a square. So let's go up to Image and select Canvas Size. And let's go ahead and do 1800 for the width. And let's make sure our elephant here is in the center. Go ahead and resize. Actually, what I want to do is I want to make this elephant larger. So let's grab our scale tool with Shift plus S. And let's go ahead and enlarge. Let's see if we drop the opacity. That will make it easier to see the size of the elephant compared to the canvas. And I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and scale that down and place that opacity back. So the hardest part of this particular project is making a selection. So we're going to have to select the sky here and then possibly make a selection of the sky of these birds here as well to remove the sky in both of them. Before we do that, let's go ahead and duplicate this layer, and I'm going to rename this Sky Removal. And I'm going to use my fuzzy select tool here to make a selection of the sky. So I have my threshold right around 30, and let's go ahead and make a selection. I'm going to hold down my Shift key to add this part as well. And let's add our selection layer mask. Actually, I think we need to invert that. Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and deselect, Command or Control, Shift plus A. What we're going to do is we're going to go up to Colors and select Invert, and that will invert the colors of our layer mask. All right, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in over here because it looks like I missed a little area over here. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush tool and paint with white to add that back. All right, let's add a little bit of contrast. The overall image is a little flat. I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to right click on the layer mask and select Apply Layer Mask. Now we can turn this one off, and let's call this Curve since we're going to add an S curve. Let's go up to Colors, Curves, and let's go ahead and create a small S curve. I'm going to bring the blacks and the shadows down a little bit. And for the highlights and the whites, I'm going to bring those up a little bit more than the blacks so I can accentuate the brightness levels a little bit more to add more contrast that way. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to do some classic dodging and burning because I find that the grassy area here is too bright. So let's go ahead and darken that up. Let's start by duplicating this layer and calling this Dodge and Burn. Let's grab our Dodge and Burn tool. And then as far as the options, we have Burn, Midtones, and I'm going to do exposure right around 30. Actually, I might go a little bit higher because what I want to do is I want to try and get this done as quickly as possible. I don't want to spend a lot of time making this perfect because I think you have better things to do, like practicing this on your own. When I did this edit here, I think it took me about an hour to do because I was being really picky and spending a lot of time on perfecting it. And I'm not going to do that for this image here. You already know how to do all this stuff, so let's go ahead and do this real quick. Now, when you begin applying this, you're going to be adjusting the elephant as well, his feet, legs, belly, his trunk. And what we need to do is we need to remove that once we're done with our dodging and burning. So let me show you how we're going to do that. Actually, you probably already know how to do that because we've done that 100 times already, and that's by adding a layer mask to remove the edit from the elephant. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's add a white layer mask. And then with your paintbrush tool and black, you can begin removing that edit where it shouldn't be. So we don't want it on the elephant. So let's go ahead and remove that as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick and we'll go on to the next step. All right, so it's not perfect, but I think you get the idea. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, which is, let's go ahead and add a new background layer to fill in our sky. So let's go ahead and click on the elephant layer here. We're going to click here to create a new layer. Let's call it background. And I filled it in with white. I don't want white. So let's go ahead and choose our color from this tree layer here. So we're going to click on our foreground color swatch here, grab your eyedropper tool right here, and click on the sky to choose a light gray. Okay, that's the color I want to fill in for that background. So let's make sure that background layer is still selected, and with your bucket fill tool, go ahead and fill it in. And you can kind of see what it's doing. It's starting to blend the sky in from this tree image together, which is what we want. All right, let's work on our tree now, which is scaling and then blending in to cover up part of the elephant. So let's go ahead and grab our move tool, and we're going to move this up just a little bit. Now it's kind of hard to see where we want to place it, so let's drop our opacity. That'll make it a little bit easier to decipher where to place it. And I think I want it right about there. I'm going to grab my scale tool now with Shift plus S, and I'm going to drag from the top right down so I can keep that right side in position, and then I'm going to continue adjusting until I want this tree along this area here. Let's go ahead and move this up just a little bit. So maybe right about there, maybe a little bit tighter, I think right there. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and put that opacity back up and then add a white layer mask. All right, so this layer boundary right here is really bugging me. Let's go ahead and go up to View and click on Show Layer Boundary. Now here's another little neat trick. If you never want to see that layer boundary ever again, right click, go to Edit, and select Preferences. Then, let's see, I think it's down here somewhere. I think it's under Image, Windows. Click right here on Appearance, and click right here. That will turn off Show Layer Boundary, and the next project you work on, you will not see them. All right. Let's go ahead and grab our paintbrush tool here, and we're going to paint with black to remove the trees. But first, actually I forgot a step. Let's go back and click on the image layer, go up to Mode, and select Darken Only, and that will help blend it in. All right, back to the layer mask, and then begin removing with black. Now, what I would recommend doing is possibly using a lower opacity to help blend that in at a slower rate so you can fine-tune your edit so it's not completely gone along the edges. Otherwise, it's going to have a hard edge. And you also want to work with a soft-edged brush. I have 50 right now. You may want to go down lower to around 22, 25, something like that, up to 50 at the most. And that's going to give you a softer edged brush, which will help blend everything together. All right, again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on getting this perfect. Actually, I'm doing that thing again where my OCD is kicking in. I'm trying to do it perfect. But let's go ahead and stop right there before I go too far. I'm going to set my opacity back up here and my hardness back to 50 by clicking right here. All right, we're now going to get rid of the elephant's head and hump right here and over here as well. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and turn this layer off. We're going to, let's go down here and turn off the background as well. We're going to right click and select new from visible. All right, we can turn this one back on, but what I want to do is make sure these two are turned off and then the trees can go back on. All right, so guess what we're going to do now? That's right, we're going to add another layer mask. So let's go ahead and do that. And then with our paintbrush tool, we're going to paint where that elephant shouldn't be visible to make him disappear. How cool is that? I love it. Let's go ahead and rename this Disappearing Elephant. And of course, this would be trees. And now we're going to add some birds. Now we already have a set of birds from this tree layer here. So I'm not sure if I want to add more small birds or not. I'll leave that up to you. We're going to go ahead and work on this image layer here. So what we're going to do is convert this to black and white first, and then we're going to apply a technique that we learned in a previous project. So let's go ahead and grab this image layer here. We're going to go up to Colors, Hue, Saturation. And let's drop the saturation down, not all the way. I just want to leave a little bit of color. So something like that. So let's go with that. And then let's go up to Colors, Levels, and try and brighten up that sky as much as possible without losing any detail from the birds. I don't want to go too far like that. So I'm going to go maybe right around 200 for the white point. I'm going to darken up those birds just a little bit. I'm not too worried about this part of the image because I want to get rid of all these birds anyways. So I'm concentrating more on this area here. So maybe a little bit brighter on the white point, so right about there. All right, so let's say you go in and add a white layer mask again, and then you go try and brush in between all the birds here, and it's not working. Well, what you can do is you can make a selection even though you added a layer mask. What you have to do though is make sure your image layer is selected and then grab your fuzzy select tool and make a selection of the sky like so. And then go back to your layer mask. Make sure your background color is filled to black and then go up to Edit, Cut, and that will remove the sky based on that selection. All right, let's go ahead and deselect with Command or Control, Shift plus A. What I'm going to do now is paint with black to remove all these birds that I don't want. So let's go ahead and remove all of these, this guy up here. And I think I may want to move these birds into a different position. I think I got rid of a bird there that I didn't want to get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and restart. So if you're going to try and do this all in one stroke, and then if you have to undo it, well, you're going to have to redo everything. So I like to stop, release my mouse button, and then continue editing. That way I don't have to go all the way back to the beginning if I have to undo something because I made a mistake. Let's get this bird here, and let's get these guys over here. All right, let's go ahead and grab our move tool. I'm going to place this on move the active layer because it's going to be kind of hard to select a bird. Otherwise, it's going to select whatever you click on other than a bird. So let's go ahead and click and move this up. I'm going to move it over to the right. I think right about there should be good. Now I need to undo that because we need to make sure we have our image layer preview selected and not the layer mask, because the layer mask is going to move with the image layer at the same time. Now I think I need to grab my scale tool here and make this a little bit smaller. And let's go ahead and reposition this right about there. Okay, and now we need to go back in with our paintbrush tool and remove this side of the image. Make sure your layer mask is selected and adjust as needed. All right, so the last thing we need to do is some color grading because we have 3 different images that were shot under 3 different types of light or different colors of light. So each one of these were shot at a different time of day, and I want to blend it in together to finish off the entire image so that it has the same color tone. All right, long story short, we're going to create a new layer. Let's call it color grading. And I don't want black. Let's go into our foreground color swatch here. And this is the color that I want to use. So if you want to use the same color, here is the hexadecimal number right here. Go ahead and type that in right there. Click OK, and then fill in your foreground. Now let's blend that in with all the layers below with, let's go with Luma Luminance Darken Only. And well, that doesn't look too good, does it? So let's go ahead and drop the opacity down to help blend it in. So somewhere around 50 to 55. And there you go. That's the double exposure project. Go ahead and complete this project on your own and pick out your own elements to create your own artwork.